What up, world? It's your boy Lando, Saint Lando 1, kicking it to you live here in Japan. And just like that intro I just did, just gotta whip it out like Japan anime style. And man, it's great being here in Japan. The other thing, though, would recommend is that definitely come here either in the springtime, so it'd be like March. It'd be like March, so it'd be like month 3, or October, November, even December is not too bad here in Tokyo. Like, it definitely would recommend. Talk about the spiritual places in Tokyo that I've been to. There's going to be probably a part 2 or a part 3 to this video, because it is very interesting being here in Tokyo, for sure. There's like a mix of like really dark energy, which will go here. And then there's also some spots here that are actually like, I would consider it like high vibe, or like actually spiritual places that people are looking for, but they're so scattered throughout the city like anymore, and the local like surrounding area around these places now are just big old sky rises that block the energy and have transformed the energy around it. It's weird. We'll get to that here in a second. So one of the places that a lot of tourists actually come here is the Meiji Jingu, or Jingu. I'll put it right here so you know what it is. Super famous spot that a lot of foreigners go to. It's like one of the many things to do here in Tokyo to go see. And I will say, like, the area surrounding this is like a nice park here. It's like a big old park. And then you got like the temple here. You got a walkway. Wee. Actually, I think you have like 4 ways actually to get in here, but one of them's blocked off. But also, if you're still learning all this energy work, just remember that a lot of cultures around the world have like either 4 ways, or they'll do like this weird way where it goes up and around and then out, which a lot of the old was it K-O... I'm trying to write this backwards. F... Hold up. Give me 1 second here. So you got like ancient Japanese here. You got the Kufans, which are the key-looking shaped things. Burial mounds and stuff like that. Also in Chinese culture too, is called a feng shui. Though in Japanese it's called, oh man, I'm trying to blank on what it's called, but this is Chinese is feng shui, but in Japan it has a different name. It means the same thing. But basically it's the a whole study of how like invisible energy that we can't really see. Some people, actually, you know what? Some people can see it, but I feel it. I can sense it. And it's just like, it's like using the Force in Star Wars. It's like, feel the rock with your mind. Now move the rock over here. Now lift the starship out of the swamp. But yes, sort of like that. However, in this place right here, it used to be like a spot where you would go to worship. But now, since there's just so many foreigners, like a ridiculous amount of foreigners that go to this place now, it's actually changed from positive to, yeah, we're learning more like on the negative side, where, it's just very interesting. I've been there, how many times? I think I've been there twice now. And the funny thing is that since a lot of things in the energetic realm, here, let me make sure my mic's, when the spirits like turn my mic off all the time because they don't like me telling people how this works. So there's a lot of like entities that will just hide out here on the torii gates, which in Japan they're red usually. Here we'll draw a nice little torii gate here. Yay, torii gate, sweet. Yeah, there's a lot of entities that will just hang out in front of the torii gates because for various reasons they can't pass through it. Because according to old folklore is that the torii gates are portals. And there are some not so good entities that have made it through. And they're just kind of waiting in there. But in return, they also can't get out. It's weird like that. I don't know how. Though, over here at the main temple area, which is like 3 layers deep of torii gates, so you could say like these are like 3 portals that you have to get through. Also, there is a particular way that you do have to bow on the left side. It has to be on the left side. So if you're looking at this, you have to bow right here before you enter, and then as you exit, you have to bow as soon as you get, and you do it that on, also on your, well, if you're exiting, it's on your left side. If you're entering, it's on your right side. And it's mostly to like have like a circuit to basically end your circuit. So if you like enter one way, just like the, actually, you know what? It's like the torii gate, because like you go in one way and then you follow it out and then you exit out the same way. Basically, you're closing a loop. So you're not running like a bazillion tabs like your computer, like you're like, oh, gotta slow down here. Eliminate this. But back on track here is that this area now has become an area of just more tourists than more native Japanese energy. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing. If you're a native Japanese, it's not a good thing. If you're a foreigner, I'm going to say mixed. I'm going to say it's mixed. Or mid. I'm going to say mixed. Right here. So if you're spiritual like me, it's cool to go visit one time, but I wouldn't. If you're looking for a higher spiritual energy, not the place to go. Here we go. We're going to use the black pen here. So we got the Imperial Palace here, which is next to the Tokyo Main Station train station. Old building. They kept like most of the old building intact from the 1900s. I mean, the building's massive on the outside. And then it's like, I don't even know, like 3 or 4 stories deep underground. It's awesome. Architecture's cool. Well, so then you walk across the train station. You're like, ooh, here. And then you get the moat here. The Imperial Palace is over here. And the whole significance of the whole moat around the Imperial Palace. You can also get tickets to this place, but you have to get there at the Imperial Palace at like 5 a.m. I think. It's either, here, let me write this down. It's either 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. It's something ridiculous, and you have to, it's like the first like 100 people to get in line gets tickets, and then after that, it's done for the day. It's something very Japanese, like sort of like how they do the Studio Ghibli museum here in Tokyo. It's like a weird date. It's usually like on the 20th or the 21st of every month. They give out tickets for like the next month. It's weird. It's very Japanese. But if you're there in line, you wait there, first 100 people, you get in, you get to see you actually get to go on the grounds of the Imperial Palace, because most of the time it's just closed to the public. Mostly, you could take pictures, like over here. There's like a section over here in this bottom right corner that you can get a nice cool picture of, which I'll post right here. And the significance with the water, though, around here, we're gonna put this blue, okay, is that the water is actually like a filter for energy. Okay, yes, it's a filter for water for energy to maintain the high vibration of that spot. Also as a natural defense way back in the day. And also it is a like a energy battery to this Imperial Palace over here, which honestly the Imperial family that is there really just figureheads at this point, just like the King and Queen of England, just like sitting here waving like the royalty they are. But honestly, yeah, they're still very wealthy in this day and age. It's just like their power or sway has gone down forever. And well, we all know what happened in the in WW2. Yeah, that was not good. And but yeah, if you're a spiritual person, the Imperial Palace, I would consider it like a positive. If you can get inside, if you can get inside, it's a positive. If not, I would just consider it like void, which either means like zero energy or like high vibration or high energy types. Yeah, and that's like around the surrounding area. If you get inside, amazing. If not, not so much. Look at this, Shinzo-ji. Basically, what this means is that this is an old, like Buddhist place. It's in red. I'm trying the best I can to draw this here. We got, yeah, it's really cool. Definitely would recommend going here as well. This is up in the northern part of Tokyo. So it's just past Akihabara. Well, Akihabara is more central, but it's over in that area. And also I wrote the shrine that you can see that at. Woo! Right there. Perfect. So if you just Google that, Apple Maps, whatever navigation you use, just that. Now this one, at the actual like well, anything like really with the JIs in Japanese right here is just saying that it's the old Shinto Buddhism buildings here. And most of them have like this top part here that has a like golden circle levels to it. Kind of looks like an antenna, because it is. Basically what it does is that it, hold up, where is my other pin at? Okay, here we go. Okay, so it draws energy from the atmosphere, and then guides it down to whatever is here. So what it does is that it pulls energy, be ether or spirit energy, down through the golden things on the top of the temple or the building, and then whatever's like down on the bottom there, it could be like a shrine, it could be an idol, it's whatever. Like they change it up every so often. It could be a Buddha or one of the mini Buddhas. It could be yeah, you name it, it'll be there. And what that does is that it charges this, whatever this is here, to whatever energy's out there. if you're spiritual like me, you can actually, if you're close enough to this area right here where it's open, you can actually pull the energy like from the top of this antenna here to you. It is crazy. And then also you can actually like, well, if you're high level like myself, you can actually like connect to your higher over self in some instances, not always. It depends on the energy around it in the area. But for the most part, these are usually clean of the area around you. So you can actually pull it in, which is super interesting. Like it's fascinating. Though the shrine next to it, like in the area, oops, let me get the black pen. So if you walk like a little bit past this, you actually get to like the actual shrine over here. It's pretty big. And there's like I will say the paintings inside of this shrine over here, very nice, but the energy is so mixed with like so many foreigner energies that people bring with them that it's the shrine itself is actually missing up. Like the energy is so mixed that it doesn't clear out. It just stays in there. But if you go over here to the Senjoji over here, which is like not even that far away from it, that's where all the energy is. Like this one building. And I actually have a picture of that right here. And it's amazing. Like it is crazy cool that you do that. And also too, like that's also another reason why people will go to like some of these spots here. Oops, sorry. We'll go to like some of these spots I wrote here on the side, is that all of these have a particular energy, both positive, light or dark, which would be like yin and yang, light and dark. You got the whole mix going on here. But yeah, I would say like this place is a positive. This is more like leaning negative, or I'm just going to call it void. Where, yeah, you got to be real careful walking into that shrine. But this place, if you want to have like a connection up there, go here. Fourth or fifth one here, we got probably not the darkest energy here in Tokyo. There's probably darker spots, but for a general sense for people like visiting areas, Shinjuku's actually got like really dark, heavy energy. I'm just going to put this as like just a big old negative on this one. Whew, man. Because especially like over in Shinjuku, and most of this is where it gets good, is that a lot of the negative energy over there is because of drinking. There is some gambling. And what I mean by gambling, we got pachinko and similar activities over there. This is where you get like the memes of the salaryman like passing out in the street with all the water around him. Yeah, that's in this place, which is over by the Godzilla head, believe it or not, which is the Toro Cinemas. Yeah, it's very famous in Shinjuku. If you Google Godzilla on a building, that's where it is. And I will say, like, there's a lot of, it's like a mix of, like, both, like, normal salaryman Japanese people and a lot of foreigners down there. But it's mostly turning into foreigners because they just want the experience of being in Shinjuku and having a good party life. Though I'm not discounting that. Like, hey, if you're all about that party life, Shinjuku, that's the place to be. Also, that's where the clubs are. A lot of the dance bars are over there. There's like a really cool, like, the robot bar was over there. That's closed down. But there's so many like if you're into that whole life, yeah, it's definitely in Shinjuku. For me, I'm not all about that life. So, and also too, you got to be real careful too, because especially like when I'm in this Airbnb that I'm in, there are some people that will go down there, and it's very interesting what people pick up down there in terms of like energies. Most of them are not pleasant energies. A lot of them are, I wouldn't say like demons per se, which some actually do pick up those. Those are unfortunate to pick up. Uh, it depends because with so many foreigners now, they keep dragging all of the not good energies with them, even if they don't know about it. Uh, so it's been very interesting how to cleanse this whole Airbnb when people go down there. Super interesting on that. Also, it depends on what alcohol beverage you drink too, which will determine on certain entities of entering your vessel, your body, your energy field. Super interesting on that. If people go to like multiple places, they pick up even more stuff. And that's part of the reason why Shinjuku and that area is like real dark energy. So if you're really sensitive to the differences between light and dark energy, would recommend visiting there during the day. It's still heavy energy and negative energy, but it's not as bad as when that sun goes down to dark time. Oh, this is like black hole sun going on here. We're like, black hole sun, won't you come wash away the rain? But yes, it gets real dark, heavy, so be careful down there. Last thing I wrote down here called Mount Takao, which this is the hold up, I gotta write this down. This is the it's the farthest west you can go. West you can go in Tokyo. And here we go. Wrote it down. It's the farthest you can go that's considered Tokyo. And it's in the mountains that's in the west. So this is like, here we go. We got Tokyo. And we got mountains over here. Wee mountains. So, and the mountains is Mount Takao. And for those that don't know what this is, you can actually see Fuji from here on a clear day. But Mount Takao is a place where in Japanese mythology you have the Tengu, which is like the feathered guys. They look like they're samurais, but they have like wings and this big old Pinocchio nose here. I'll show a picture right here. And what these guys are, well, some people call them angels, some people call them ninjas, or where a lot of the ninja lore comes from. These guys are like super fast, super stealthy. They got like the smoke effects. It's gone, just like that. But yeah, they're actually kind of cool. And this area too, as well, because of, well, they got a whole thing dedicated to those guys. There's a temple up there at the top. Actually, there's two temples. One for these guys for the Tengu, which is, let me write that down. The and it's so hard writing upside down. G, this is a G. U. Tengu. Okay, yeah. So it's Tengu. These are like your ancient ninjas. And then also at the very top of the mountain, they do, well, about 3/4 up, they do have another like Shinto shrine that's mostly for other activities. Actually, it's Chinese up there. They got a whole like tradition over there. I ended up going in the springtime there last year, and they were doing like a whole festival with like spiritual cleansing. So they were like, they had a huge line of people like walking through a field here, and they had fire going on here. It was crazy. They had fire here, fire. They had wood logs, and basically what you would do is walk across this, like, I don't even know, maybe like 100, maybe about 100 feet or like 30 meters, 33 meters of like a long burning coals that you had to walk across, and basically it would cleanse you spiritually. And then at the end of this, you would have like, whoop, here we got like a couple guys here. You got basically had like the priest or the great, I'm drawing a blank on what they call them, but you get the head honcho guys that are like the leaders. They're like, oh yes, sage you up. And you're like, you've been cleansed for the year, and you go out your business, which is slightly different than what they do. Well, okay, it's similar to like how Japanese people do like New Year's Day, where January 1st is just like a national holiday that people usually go to the shrines and go pray for the year for their like ancestors, wealth, health, like a whole, just like a whole bunch of things. That could also be like relationship, love, career, money, a lot of things, just a lot of things, and is a very high energy place. It's also out in the mountains too, away from the city, and you get a lot more in tune with nature. Literally, the only thing you do have to worry about are the Japanese killer hornets and an occasional bear. Yeah, maybe a snake too. But besides that, you're basically in nature. And also, if you walk, like, there's enough nature trails over there. There's a huge lake over there that's very peaceful. So yeah, there's just a lot of things to do if you are just tired of being in Shinjuku and you need a recharge because you lost all your energy, getting zapped away being down there. Go here, Mount Takao. Big old positive on the energy here. And also, too, not a lot of foreigners go over there. So it's still pretty, like, native energy there. For a lot of locals, a lot of people that live in Japan, they go there. Especially if they're here from Tokyo, they go there. Yeah, not as many tourists over there because it is very much out of the way from any of these other places in downtown Tokyo or in that area. Well, if you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And this is just part one. There'll probably be another part to this, another video with this. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share this video. Your boy Lando out on this one. Peace.